Mean effective pressure denoted by Pm. P is the pressure, M is the mean effective pressure. Mean effective pressure is the average pressure inside the cylinder of an internal combustion engine based on the calculated or measured power output. It increases as manifold pressure increases. For any particular engine operating at a given speed and power output, there will be a specific indicated mean effective pressure denoted by IMEP and a corresponding brake mean effective pressure BMEP. Okay, denoted by brake mean effective pressure. They are derived from indicator and brake power respectively. For you can say here we have this is indicator power and it is equal to indicator mean pressure multiply by length of stroke. This is area of the piston. What is n we will discuss here. This n is number of strokes, number of power strokes. In case of two stroke engine, there is only one power stroke in a one cycle, while in four stroke engine there are one power cycle power stroke in two cycles. There in four stroke engine there is one power stroke in two cycles. Okay, so n will vary from type of engine. It is four stroke, it is n by 2, and if it is two stroke, it is n. Okay, what is k? K is number of cylinders, because we are talking about multiple cylinder engines, so indicated power will increase. For if here is one cylinder, k will be 1. If there is a two cylinder, k will be 2, and so on 3 4 5. So indicated power will increase with the addition of the cylinders. Divided by 60, because n rpm is in rotation per minute, so we have to divide by 60, and by 1000 we will get this term in kilowatt. So this is your indicated power of engine. So now what is PIM? What is PIM? This is pressure at the piston surface. If you check this diagram, so whatever the pressure at the piston surface, this pressure will actually vary. When the piston will move downward, the piston will move downward, the pressure will change. Okay, so we will take the average pressure at the piston surface. Okay, so this is the average pressure. So this is your indicator pressure, indicated power. This is your indicated power, and it is depends on indicated mean pressure. Okay, then the indicated mean effective pressure can be written as, you can calculate from here. You can also calculate this. If you have the indicated power, you can calculate indicated mean pressure from here. Take this all parameters on this side, you will get this P indicated mean effective pressure. Okay, this you will get from here. Similarly, the brake mean effective pressure is given by, if you replace this indicated power by brake power in this term, you will get brake mean effective pressure. Okay, next is another way of specifying the indicated mean effective pressure is from the knowledge of engine indicator diagram. What is engine indicator diagram? We will discuss in the coming chapters. That is a PV diagram. The area under PV diagram will give us the work. Okay, the area under PV diagram, because pressure and volume, so pressure multiplied by volume, we will get some work. So area under PV diagram divided by length of indicator diagram, we will get P indicator mean. Okay, where the length of the indicator diagram is given by the difference between the total volume and clearance volume, that we'll discuss in the coming classes. The next is your mean piston speed. Mean piston speed. Why mean piston speed is discussed here? Mean piston speed is very important parameter for the design calculations. We can't increase the piston speed beyond a limit, because the piston material will be subjected to some stress and some forces. So there is some constraint on the engine speed. An important parameter in engine application is the mean piston speed, and it is defined by 2 into length of stroke into rpm, because in one revolution of the crankshaft there are two strokes. One times piston will go up, one time piston will go down. So in one crankshaft rotation there are two strokes. So this is the piston distance, you can see total speed of the piston. Okay, the L is the stroke and N is the rotational speed of the crankshaft in RPM. It may be noted that piston speed is often a more appropriate parameter than crank rotational speed for correlating engine behavior as a function of speed. Resistance to gas flow into the engine or stresses due to the inertia of the moving parts limit the maximum value of piston speed to within 8 to 15 meter per second, although engines operate at a higher end and large marine diesel engines at lower end of this range of piston speed. Next is your specific power output. Specific power output of engine is defined as power output per unit piston area and is a measure of how engine designers success in the using the fuel piston area regardless of cylinder size. So whatever the size of cylinder, we will just measure the engine designer's success in using the available piston area. The specific power output can be shown to be proportional to the product of mean effective pressure and mean piston speed. So this is specific power output. It is brake power divided by area of the piston. So we will get brake power divided by area of piston. If you put the value of area, if you put this value, you will get this constant into brake power, brake mean effective pressure into piston speed. Next is, as can be seen, the specific power output consists of two elements, the force available to work and speed with which it is working. Thus, for the same piston displacement and brake mean effective pressure, an engine running at a higher speed will give a higher specific output. As you can see from this formula, if SP value is higher, piston speed is higher, the specific power output is more. It is clear that the output of engine can be increased by increasing either the speed or brake mean effective pressure. Increasing the speed involves increase in the mechanical stress of various engine components. For increasing the brake mean effective pressure, better heat release from the fuel is required, and this will involve more thermal load on engine cylinder. So either you increase brake mean effective pressure, either you can increase the piston speed. So if you increase the brake mean effective pressure, it will put more thermal load on the engine. If you increase the piston speed, it will put constraint on the selection of the material. Okay, so these two are the constraints for the maximum specific power output of the engine. So this is the one of the design criteria for the engine. Next is your specific fuel consumption. As the name said, it is specific fuel consumption. So it is the specific fuel consumption of an engine is expressed in terms of specific fuel consumption in kilograms of fuel per kilowatt hour. It is an important parameter that reflects how good the engine performance is. It is inversely proportional to the thermal efficiency of the engine. So specific fuel consumption is equal to fuel consumption per unit time divided by total power. So what we will get, you can check units, we will get here kilogram per second divided by kilowatt. So this is the unit of specific fuel consumption. So brake specific fuel consumption and indicated specific fuel consumption are two terms. So this is specific fuel consumption. If the power here is brake power, then you will get brake specific fuel consumption. If the power here is indicated power, you will get indicated specific fuel consumption. Okay, this topic we won't discuss, and the next topic is your fuel air ratio that we will discuss in the next class.